Hey guys, and welcome to Diary of the Divine. My name's Jessica. I just wanted to talk to you today about twin flame union and what that really means. So, for those of you that are new to the journey and may still be stuck in the mindset of this is all about coming together with your external partner, your masculine or your feminine, this is really, really vital for you to hear. And for those of you who have been on this journey for many years, like I have, and are starting to come to the realization that it's actually about a union that takes place within ourselves, this is also important for you to hear. Just to reiterate that fact inside of yourself that what you're feeling and what you're going through and the realizations that you're having are in fact correct. Just to keep you aligned on that path, because we do have that darkness, that little voice, the ego, that likes to try and pull us off our path. And we know that we can't have the external union that we're looking for in the physical 3D world with our partner if we don't make the union within stick. So it's really important that we keep that little voice at bay and we make sure that we stay grounded in the knowing that this is a union that needs to take place within first. So when you first meet your twin flame, there's this whole crazy thing that happens. You've all already obviously been through that, or you wouldn't be watching this video. So I'm not going to go into that today. What I'm going to go into is, I think there's a really big part of our community at the moment who are reaching the point where we do understand that there's a union within our masculine and our feminine within ourselves that are starting to come together. And a lot of us are feeling this integration, having downloads, having visions. I know myself, I've had some really crazy visions and experiences within myself where it feels like the masculine and the feminine within me are actually reaching out for each other and coming together and holding each other. And when they come to that place, it's like at that moment they can then integrate into the oneness, into the light. So that was a really beautiful experience for me that really set it in stone that the work that we're doing, especially, well, not even especially as the feminines anymore, because the masculines have caught up to our energy pretty well. So we're kind of flipping back and forth at the moment between not knowing who's masculine and who's feminine. And that's because we're having these integrations happen. So if you're at that stage at the moment where you're kind of feeling, I don't know if I'm masculine or feminine, that's because the integration is taking place and we're becoming so aligned inside of ourselves that we are playing out both of those polarities. Now, what I wanted to talk about was the reason it's so important to make sure that you're realizing this, because for such a long time, I know I did, and I know a lot of people in this twin flame community did this. We sat there just looking externally to our partner and going, like, looking at the masculine energy or looking at the feminine energy and knowing that there's things that they need to change. You might be looking at readings or listening to readings about the different energies and just looking externally to your counterpart going, yes, when are they going to fix that? And it's about time that we took a look inside and said, when am I going to fix that part of my inner masculine or my inner feminine so that they can work together in unison? And that's really important because, as I said before, you cannot have the two external parties working together in unison in the outer world if they're not working together in unison in the inner world. Now, a lot of people have some resistance to this, and that's fine. You can't avoid it, though. You can have the resistance, but the quicker that you stop and realize this is the case, the quicker you can get into physical union with your counterpart. And there's a couple of things that I want to tell you about that I hope will help you to see that it's a good idea for you to be looking internally at your inner masculine and feminine instead of looking to your counterpart. Those reasons are, if you believe that this is your twin flame, sorry, throat chakra is playing a little bit up on me this morning. Listen, must be some action that needs to be taken and spoken. Actually, that is part of what the masculine is going through at the moment, is since way back, since the Lionsgate portal, actually, that the masculine needs to speak his truth to the world, show up and influence others and share his messages, either with his feminine counterpart, with the world, whatever that is. And the feminine is really being called to show the world her true self. So I guess those work in unison, you know, feminine, show the world your true self, and masculine, speak your truth. If they work together, you can then move forward in showing the world your true self by speaking your truth. I just thought that was like super interesting. So we're all going through that at the moment. It's just that it doesn't matter if you're mostly masculine or mostly feminine, because at the moment we're so integrated that all messages apply to all of us. The sooner you realize that, the closer that you're going to get to the time where you can be in physical union with your counterpart. Now, the reasons that you should really be aware of this and focused on this, and this should be your main focus, is because if you really believe that they're your twin flame, if they are the other half of your soul, if what you experience, they experience, and you've had plenty of experiences of this before in the past, like telepathy and you feeling something and them feeling it at the same time, and it's been confirmed to you, then you should know by now that what you do within yourself, they also do within themselves. So if you're sitting there wanting your masculine or your feminine to integrate something into themselves, then what do you think would be the most helpful and beneficial way for them to do that if they are a part of your soul and they feel what you feel and they go through what you go through? It would be for you to do it. So that is helping them, and it's also helping you, because you've got to do your work and you want to get into union. So do your work by realizing it's an inner union. And that kind of allows you to detach from the physical person, which you need to do in order to come into union. You have to be okay with it not being that person. You have to be okay with not coming together with them. You have to be okay with it being someone else. And that is because that's true love. And that's true detachment. And that's unconditional love. So that is the reason you should be doing the inner work. And it's not to say that you can't look at these readings or these energies and see what it is that your masculine or feminine might be going through. But when you do that, that's a perfect time and a perfect way for you to integrate compassion and understanding for what they're going through. And then take a look within yourself and see where you're displaying that in your life, and how difficult it is, and how much work you have to put in within yourself to get through that, so that you can have compassion and empathy and understanding, instead of sitting there in impatience and anger and control about what your counterpart is doing. So watch readings and think about energies, and have a look at what your counterpart is doing, but use that to build compassion. And then, because sometimes it's really easy for us to see it more clearly in our counterpart, what they're doing, rather than it is to see it within ourselves, use the readings and stuff to have a look at, yep, that's definitely what they're doing, that's what they need to heal, that's what they need to work through, and then take that energy and apply it to your life. Like, where am I doing that in my life? In what area? In what way am I doing that? So that you can then integrate it within yourself, which will help them, because they are you. So it's beneficial to you at the end of the day, um, to do this and to get into alignment with who you are and your soul. And the only way to do that is to look within and merge those two polarities that have been fighting against each other for so long. This isn't just about your lifetime here. This is about the entire collective of this planet. And from way back when, um, around like the witch hunting days, when Christianity and stuff was implemented, and the feminine part was taken away, and all of our intuitive, emotional work with spirit was then deemed as the devil's work, and all goddesses were taken away, and there was masculine gods put in place and these control mechanisms, and now it's just turned into this distorted masculine world. So really look within and know how much trauma there has been on this planet, because the masculine and the feminine have been separated from each other. And it's up to all of us individually to bring the masculine and feminine back together within ourselves, so that we can integrate that and help others integrate that as well, so that this planet can come more into balance again. Living in harmony, the masculine and the feminine in harmony, in unity, in union, where we are true to ourselves, we feel deeply, we have our emotions, we have our intuition, and then we act on those in trust, in the light and in the love that this world is actually here to provide for us. Because you know down in your heart that you're here for a purpose, and that is your purpose. All of this stuff, all of these triggers, everything that we've been through is to awaken that within ourselves. So you can keep fighting against it and keep looking externally and thinking somebody needs to do something for you to feel better. But at the end of the day, you know deep within yourself that this is an awakening journey. It's a spiritual journey that you signed up for to help heal this planet. So do your job as a light worker here, as a twin flame here, as whatever label you want to put on this, and do your work by integrating your masculine and your feminine together, following your intuition, acting upon it, being true to yourself, offering love, forgiveness, light, compassion, and getting rid of that little voice in the head, the ego, the darkness that is wanting to move you away from that path. And at some times it's much stronger than it is at other times, and it gets stronger when you get closer, because what happens to darkness when light comes? It disappears. So that darkness fights back the more light you integrate in. And I know a lot of people, especially the feminines, are going through a really tough time at the moment, where we're starting to doubt and not believe, and that's just that darkness coming in, because we've done so much work that we're beginning to shine that light so bright that the darkness it's going to disappear, because it cannot be anything other than that. When you shine light on darkness, it becomes light. And just know that the light is truth. It's what you're made from, it's what you're made for. You're here to receive the light. But you've got to work for it. You've got to be your own fulfillment of that by acting as the light. This is I will make another video on what it means to actually act as the light and why we are created for that purpose. But this was just a quick video to remind you to stay focused on your inner union and do all the things that you're meant to be doing to align yourself with your own soul. Because when you align with your own soul, well then, if you've done that in the inner world, then that will happen on the outer world. So truly let go of the physical person. If they're not the other half of your soul, then they won't come back, and that's fine, because you won't want them, because you will be bringing in your soul when you're in line with that. So align with your own soul, be the light, and then your other half of your soul will have to come to you. That's the laws of the universe. I hope that this was helpful to you, and I know how difficult this journey can be. So please keep going, stay strong, and I'll be putting up some other videos that I hope will help you on this journey, to explain some different things about our purpose here and what it means to really live centered in the light. Blessings to all of you, and I do offer private readings as well, so if you would like some help to see where you are on this ladder of enlightenment, what part of the journey that you're kind of struggling with and what you need to integrate and work through and how that's showing up in your world, please send me an email. It's diaryofthedivine@gmail.com. Otherwise there should be some links below. If they're not there when this video is up, they will be added, where you can purchase a reading. And of course, always on my readings and these videos, your energy exchange donations are really appreciated. It helps me to continue to do this work. And blessings to all of you. I hope you have a beautiful day and stay strong. We're all in this together.